People. Que pasa, sakpa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. Now, when they talk about Jamaica is not a real place, Jamaica is like a Netflix series. This is true in this case. There's a popular show called DEATH at a FUNERAL at a final send-off. Well, people, in a place called Whitehall, that is in St. Mary, the same thing occurred. The Popo are searching for a nephew. This nephew, based on the Popo report, it is said that him joke up him uncle at the final send-off for the nephew's daughter. The uncle's name, Mr. Watson, Marvin Watson, he was 60 years old at the time he met his demise. That was over the weekend. The nephew's name, Ramon McLean. This is very bizarre. Based on the information, it is said that during this final send-off, there was some sort of verbal altercation in Jamaica. Them call it argument between the uncle and the nephew. The nephew, Ramon McLean, pick up some sorts of kitchen utensil or drawer from out him waist, 5-star ratchet them call it, and joke up him uncle in him chest. People, remember what they were there for. They were there for the final send-off of Mr. McLean's daughter. Don't know how the daughter lost her life. Don't know the circumstances. However, you would think that, all right, me lose my daughter, my family dead, my uncle dead for pay his final respect. And like me say, people, me don't know if the uncle have something to do with the daughter losing her life. Even if he did, I doubt that he would attend that final send-off. However, how do you as a father, and I understand that you're going to be stressed, you're going to be emotionally traumatized after sending off your daughter. However, your own family member, what type of argument, heated argument could have occurred that led you to go to that extreme to take away your uncle? Needless to say, the mourners that were there, they were shocked, they were awe, because them can't believe it. And what kind of dysfunctional family this? You lose a daughter and then you take away your uncle upon the spot? Nothing could have justified that. It is said that the elder man, he was rushed to the Port Maria place of recovery. However, he lost his life during some sorts of surgery. Now, when we ask ourselves, what is the odds of this actually happening? How bizarre is this? We should understand that normal is not normal in a Jamaica nowadays. It is abnormal. Common sense is very uncommon. It seems as if the devil takes some sort of hold in a Jamaica and is on some sort of recruitment campaign for these lost souls. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called Desperate Times Calls for Desperate Measure. We see that the crime problem, the takeaway problem, it is running rampant in the Jamaica society. We see that the inmates have pretty much taken over the asylum. Everything is going crazy. Everything is getting out of hand. We saw that the government did some sorts of amendment as it pertains to the Fire Peace Act. 15 years minimum mandatory. And we see that the next move that they are going to make, it is pertaining to MURDER, the sentencing guideline. Now, this sentencing guideline was pretty much initiated, or the motive for it, or the reason, was because of a 14-year-old Jamaica college student that lost his life. He was juke up. Somebody tried to rob him. That person was sentenced initially 30 years before he was eligible for parole. However, because of legislation that was not implemented as yet, his lawyer filed some sorts of appeal in the Court of Appeal, and he was given 20 years before he was eligible for parole. So therefore, they took off in excess of a decade. So the government of Jamaica realized that they dropped the ball because the family for this youth was pretty much bashing the system. They said that they had to do some sorts of damage control. So therefore, they went to Parliament. And people, I am going to let you listen what your Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, has to say as it pertains to that amendment, and then I'll give my piece.
For capital, the penalty is death. If not applied, then life without parole. While there are many issues around the death penalty and how it is used, there should be no issue around the incarceration of someone who deliberately, willfully, repeatedly takes life. Our penalty system must reflect our value system. And in our civilization, in our society, there is no question that somewhere over these many years, have gotten it into their minds that the penalty for murder is not the death penalty. They've gotten it into their minds that the penalty for murder is not life imprisonment. That somehow, with a good lawyer, they will be back out on the street to enjoy their life. Our penalty remains. If you take a life and you're convicted of such, your useful life should be taken.
Now, people, just to make this clear for anybody that is watching this video and might fall into the fully done's category, cannot understand, cannot comprehend what the Prime Minister, the head of state, is saying. Ignorance is not a defense of anything. So therefore, do not tell we say you never understand what them did a banger say. You don't know what them are talk about. You were lost. You were at the back of the class. Let me explain what the Prime Minister was saying as if he never said it very clearly before. For non-capital takeaway, it is 45 years to life, meaning your life, the criminal's life. For capital, so the non-capital is 45 to life. For the capital, meaning the worstest of the worstest, you know no parole I get. You have to do life. If between the time you are sentenced and whatever is not a DEATH penalty implemented, you not come out none at all. You go rotten in the big yard. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. I understand that this might be your grandma's favorite YouTube channel. However, this is not the typical run-of-the-mill mama and papa channel. This is news with a buzz. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Point blank and period.